Well, hi, everybody, and welcome to another EBTV sports presentation. Tonight from J. Doyle Field here at East Brunswick High School, it is field hockey, as East Brunswick hosts Piscataway in a Greater Middlesex Conference game. Hi, Jimmy Allinder being joined by Mim Chappell-Eber, our guest analyst. Mim, thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me.
Well, it's going to be a real pleasure. Field hockey, excellent sport, growing sport in the state of New Jersey particularly, but Olympics just completed. How would you say the popularity of field hockey is in the United States now?
Well, it's growing, that's for sure. It's very popular on the East Coast. The majority of the women's team, U.S. women's team, comes from the East Coast, whereas the majority of the men's team comes from the West Coast. But it is very popular.
Okay. Well, tonight's game features two really quality field hockey programs in the Greater Middlesex Conference, Central New Jersey. East Brunswick coming in with a 7-2 record, Piscataway with a 6-1 record. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the top players for each team?
Yeah, for the Piscataway team, I would say for the East Brunswick team,
Right.
Erin Balint and Janine McMillan. And then for the Piscataway team, we should probably look for Carly Campana, Fallon Samuels, Mary Simonowitz. They're all very good. And, of course, the goalkeeper for Piscataway, Christine Gagliardi.
I was talking to the East Brunswick coach, Cindy Todoroff, before the match, and I asked her, I said, Piscataway, really top-notch club every single year. East Brunswick lost the first time they met 4-0. I said, what are you going to do to stop this team? And she said, check their speed. How do you check the speed of a team?
Well, you sort of trap the players as they come down rather than taking them one-on-one. You try to get 2 against 1, or you have 2 players that try to slow down the ball, and the third one comes in and gets the ball away, sort of like lions, on the kill.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to be leaning on Mim for a lot of expertise this evening. It's going to be a great match. I want you to stick with us. East Brunswick and Piscataway will be back with the face-off right after this. All right, we are back at J. Doyle Field for tonight's field hockey match between Piscataway and East Brunswick. I'm joined by Mim Chappell-Eber. And before we get to the action, Mim, it looks like they're going to be introducing the parents of seniors on the varsity East Brunswick team. Sort of ceremonial, don't you think?
Yes.
All right.
It looks like they have to run. What's that called, like when they do in the military?
Yeah. I'm not quite sure what it is. Okay, Erin Balint and Anna Majic introduced by Andrea and Vic Balint, walking through. Charlene Chen, and that is Judy Chen. Catherine Ho, and that is Mrs. Ho. We don't have her first name. Next is Shannon Miller, joined by Janice and Michael Miller. Meanwhile, the captains of the respective teams are joined at midfield. This is Kelly Moore, being joined by Charles and Diane Moore. Kelly is the goaltender, obviously. Iwa Rakowski, and she's escorted by Anna Rakowski. So those are the senior members of the East Brunswick team. And this is not, I should say, the final home game for East Brunswick, but they wanted to make this senior night, particularly because now parents are able to come to the games. Usually these games are like at 3:45 in the afternoon, and kind of tough for parents to get to these types of games if they're played during the afternoon.
It's very difficult. You have some games where you do get a few parents, but it's very difficult.
All right, I'll tell you what. They're introducing the starting lineups. We're going to get them in a second, but right now we're going to take a break.
Right.
Okay, back at East Brunswick High School, J. Doyle Field. We have a couple minutes. Mim, I understand you have the starting lineups for each team?
Yes, the starting lineup for Piscataway is Carly Campana, Becky Joseph, Kristen Mesa, Monica Misiak, Fallon Samuels, Mary Simonowitz, Melissa Fritz, Christine Gagliardi, Karen Panaranda, Delissa Young, and Lauren Guarneri. The starting lineup for East Brunswick: senior Aaron Balint, senior Charlene Chen, senior Catherine Ho, senior Shannon Miller, and senior Kelly Moore. Lauren Clark, Tara DeMarza, Jamie Friedman, Janine McMillan. It's the starting lineup for today's game.
Okay, we have a rather nice crowd here, I would say, for this field hockey game. And
We have East Brunswick freshman field hockey team cheering right now.
vocal group, I would say.
Yes.
More spirit than I see at a football game. Whoops, I can get in trouble for that one, wouldn't I? Nope, not true. You get good vocal crowds here at East Brunswick, all East Brunswick sports, and that's one thing that really does distinguish East Brunswick in its athletic program, is that they get excellent support no matter what sport it is. So we're about ready to get underway. Mim, I'm going to call on you to help us with some of the positions, who's playing what. I understand you have positions like link, left midfield, sweeper, similar to soccer but not quite. And then a little bit of explanation of the rules too, occasionally, if you can do that, all right?
Okay.
Good.
East Brunswick has the ball. They're in white, so they get the pass back. It's actually just a pass because now you can pass it forward. You don't necessarily have to pass it back.
Okay, that's DeMarsa with it. And here comes Piscataway.
Yeah. It's Mary Simonowitz and
Whacks it. I understand that you cannot elevate the ball when you hit it. It has to stay relatively to the ground, close to the ground.
You're not allowed to intentionally lift it. If you have a backswing and it comes off the ground, it's then judged on danger, whether it's dangerous coming up
I understand.
in the air or going down. If you intentionally lift it, which is a flick or a scoop, then no matter the height of the ball, they're going to call it. But if you lift it with a backswing and it goes into a space, it's a no call.
Okay. Simonowitz with it. Now that was not whistled.
No, because the white team got the ball.
And here comes East Brunswick. Do they confine hitting to one particular player? For instance, DeMarsa is hitting it again for East Brunswick. Somebody got it.
Generally, you try to let your midfielders take the hit.
Okay.
Or your backs. Depends on if you're letting the other team set up, or if you're taking a quick free hit. If you're taking a quick free hit, then who's ever closer is going to take the hit. If you're generally setting up, you might have your midfielder. Back there, you would probably have the defense take the hit.
Okay, another whistle.
That was a stick interference. You're not allowed to hit their stick.
Gotcha.
The other team's stick.
Bears continue.
And East Brunswick is playing very well.
Field position is going to mean a lot in this game, I would imagine. And containing Piscataway will be important in this match because they do have the edge and speed.
This is a non-contact sport. It's supposed to be, so that call was just for an elbow.
Okay. Somewhere along the lines, I was told that cheering, and correct me if I'm wrong, but this is like a gentle ladies sport. It's not supposed to be like wild cheering. Is that true?
Well, I don't know about that. It is a gentleman's sport. You do get people that will cheer. If you go to some of the college games,
Sure.
there are a lot of spectators there cheering.
Okay.
And of course, we have the freshman team here cheering.
Keep our eye on number 14 for Piscataway, Carly Campana. She might be the best player in Middlesex County this year.
Carly is the leading scorer, point getter on their team. She has 19 goals and 5 assists for a total of 43 points.
That's more than some teams have scored this year.
Yeah.
by far.
Now, see, that was a lifted ball that was kind of dangerous. It didn't go into space.
Right. Okay, here comes Piscataway. That's Campana. She's putting it in front of the net. Cage, if you will.
That's a corner. There's the cheering again.
Yeah. Okay, the corner.
That's a corner. It went off one of the East Brunswick players' feet in the circle, and they would have gotten an advantage by it, so the official called it.
So what's happening right now?
You're allowed 5 players behind the line defensively, and your other 6 players have to go behind the 50. The offensive team can have as many players up as they want.
Which provides an advantage, obviously. But
Yeah,
they have to move quickly, though.
You have to. You generally have 7 to 8 players up, and so it's numerical superiority. If you have 5 defensively, you have 5, and the other team has 7 or 8. You're basically playing a zone defense. And East Brunswick did very well on that. I know East Brunswick tonight is playing with one up forward, which I believe is Janine McMillan.
Okay.
And then 3 attack players, 3 midfielders, and 3 defenders, so that they have a go-to player, someone they can pass the ball to.
I noticed Piscataway. This is a quick transition game. Yet
Yes.
Piscataway sweeper is practically at midfield right now. Is that a norm?
Yes, you don't want large gaps between your lines. You will see some teams that will have their sweeper back at the 25 when you're on attack, but if your sweeper is up this high and a ball pops out, you're able to get the ball up here. Looks like she's going to be able to get this ball up around the 25-yard line as opposed to the 50-yard line or even, the defensive.
That's what I'm noticing.
25. So it gives you a little more depth, a little more support. And this game is about support. It's a team game, and one player can't do it all. It's absolutely a team game.
That ball was in front, however.
Goalkeeper made a nice save on that.
Can the goalkeeper stop the ball? In other words, pick it up with her hand or?
No, she's not allowed to touch it with it. Well, she's allowed to touch with her hand, but she's not allowed to hit it away with her hand in any way. She can, if the ball can hit her body, can hit any part of her body, but she can't project it forward with her hand.
Understand, okay. It's number 27 for East Brunswick. That's Jamie Friedman.
And Jamie is a fullback on the team.
Piscataway ball. This is Semanowitz with it. She has a good shot. And almost finds its way through, but East Brunswick recovers. Semanowitz back on top.
And that was a fast free hit, so you try to take your free hits very quickly to catch the other team off balance before they have a chance to set up. Well, that was what's called a stick interference. They hit the other player's stick.
Ball in the midfield.
It's Carly Campana with the ball. She moves the ball very well.
Here's a shot. It's into the middle.
And another corner.
Okay. Officials wearing orange jerseys this evening.
The official right now is Dee Pasternak.
Okay.
She's a very good official. And the other official is Margie Wintermeyer.
Out to the middle. In front.
It's a beautiful stop.
Still in front.
And
it looks like it got
it's a
past.
goal.
That was just a matter of too many bodies around the front of the cage.
Absolutely.
And we got to find out who scored that.
We have a timeout.
All right. We don't have the one who scored that goal, unfortunately. There were so many players up front.
Just trying to find out who scored here. There's
Yeah.
so many bodies there, it was difficult to tell. The goalkeeper had a couple of saves, and she just couldn't get it out far enough.
Well, has this game gone pretty much as you would expect so far, Mim? Piscataway having the decided advantage in terms of field positioning.
Yeah, East Brunswick is doing very well against them. But Piscataway,
Well, I know they pride themselves on defense as well.
they do. They also have a lot more futures players.
Explain to me what a futures player is and who some of those may be.
The U.S. Field Hockey Association identifies the top athletes in the state, and they send them to what's basically a week-long camp. But instead of going for a week in the summer, you go one weekend a month, January to June. And it's just high-level coaching. Piscataway actually has 6 players: Carly Campana, Mary Simonowitz, Monica Misiak, Fallon Samuels.
I'm looking at the
Fritz.
positioning of where this is.
Oh, that wasn't a goal.
That must have been waved off.
It was not a goal. We don't know why, though.
Okay, I'm sorry for interrupting you, but I just noticed that.
Okay.
That was not a goal.
And the other, Christine Gagliari, is the goalkeeper for Piscataway. Those are all their futures players. So they do have 6 futures players, whereas East Brunswick only has 3: Kelly Moore, Erin Balint, and Janine McMillan.
Okay. Being a futures player also requires a degree of commitment as well.
Yes, it's a higher level coaching. You know, you have to be willing to give up a Sunday once a month, sometimes twice a month. And then sometimes your summer plans are not completely finalized if you're under 16 and you go to the regionals, and you might get advanced on to the national tournament and then on to Junior Olympics. So you have to, you know, be willing to commit some time.
East Brunswick slowly moving
Is
the ball
pushing
upfield.
that. And that's a beautiful outlet pass.
And outlet passes are important. They're the best way to move the ball up the field sometimes.
Yes, well, field hockey is a passing game, and so the more you pass, the better. I was speaking to Cindy before the match, and she said her team will be passing a lot more as opposed to dribbling, which is, I think, one of the ways you're going to have to get by this Piscataway team.
Good movement by Piscataway. That was number 12, Sawatha Nambori, who's in the game now for the Chiefs.
And we have another corner. Well, I'm sure East Brunswick doesn't want that to happen.
And as you can see there at the edge of your screen, there's 5 gals in the cage positioned to go out.
Against 9 Piscataway players.
So it's a race. And good defense by East Brunswick.
And actually, this Piscataway team has all of their players up. You don't see that very often on corners. Most teams will usually leave 1 or 2 back around the 50, but Piscataway brings up all of their players, which makes it very difficult to get through 10 players.
Simonowitz, again, hard shot, trying to get it through, or at least create havoc in front of the cage. And we have another corner.
That was a stick interference.
Okay.
What I call a hack.
So look at this positioning here.
And if you notice, Piscataway has all 10 players up. So it's very difficult to get through that. And so you're looking definite numerical superiority, 5 against 10.
Yep.
However, it's a calculated risk. If they do get one outlet pass and there's no one back except the goalkeeper. But Piscataway has a very good goalkeeper. She did go to Junior Olympics this summer.
I think another consideration, Mim, is that if East Brunswick is able to start on a breakaway, say from about maybe their own 30-yard line, Piscataway's speed gives it enough time to catch up, if you will, before they can perhaps get a shot off.
If they are passing the ball, though, I don't care how fast you are, the ball's going to move faster than you can run. If East Brunswick dribbles, then Piscataway will have a chance to catch up, but if East Brunswick passes, it would be very difficult. So,
Okay, good save by the goaltender.
I think Jackie Fives is the Piscataway coach is counting on her team keeping the ball in their offensive end.
Thus far, the Chiefs have been relatively successful. East Brunswick has it all it can handle. To Marsa in the middle.
And the East Brunswick team is trapping the other team very well. They're trying to always have 2 people on the ball. If Piscataway has the ball, they'll be double teaming.
And that was winged out of bounds. Hear that audible crack?
That's a beautiful pass across the field.
Right.
Fallon Samuels is a tenacious player. She just does not give up.
Campana in the middle.
East Brunswick tends to keep coming to the left, and it's actually easier to go by a team on the right side because field hockey, you can only use one side of the stick. And so when you come down the left with the ball, you're coming into the other team's stick side. It makes it difficult to get by them.
That sounds like a teaching tool you might use.
Yeah, I noticed when East Brunswick comes down the right side of the field, they've been moving the ball over the 50. As long as they stay on the left side of the field, they're not getting over their 50. They're playing in their defensive end. So let's see if they decide to go right this time.
Ball brought back to the near side. Apparently that was an errant hit.
And you can get it to the right from this angle. You can pass it back. Oops.
A little bit of a shove.
Yeah.
As you said, a non-contact sport.
It's supposed to be. I wonder sometimes.
We have is it a 30-minute running clock usually?
We have a 30-minute clock. It stops after goals.
And
or
timeouts.
Whenever the official calls timeout or coach calls timeout.
Substitutions?
No.
Okay.
It's running subs on the run. So the player comes off and then another player comes on.
Gotcha.
And you can see now East Brunswick is on the right side and they're moving it better around Piscataway's defense.
Perhaps at halftime we can find out about that disallowed goal.
Yeah. And you can see as we come up the right, it's more difficult to defend on your right side, at your non-stick side, and we're going to be over the 50 again.
Which is East Brunswick.
Yes.
Is where they're at. Oh, they give it back to Piscataway.
Went out of bounds.
Right. Number 31 for the Chiefs. I'm looking at the program, and I do not see her listed.
Monica Misiak.
Okay.
She's a senior. And here we're coming.
Almost through. Goaltender elects to.
You want to try to keep the ball on your stick when you're dribbling, or even when you stop it. As long as it's on your stick, it's your ball, but as soon as it comes off your stick, it's anyone's ball. So she dribbled a little far ahead. And again, they came down the right side, so they were able to get through the Chiefs.
All right, East Brunswick with an opportunity here. DeMarsa pushes it through. They're looking for a shot. And good defense by
That was a
Piscataway.
nice held whistle by the official because it did go off.
Another opportunity for the Bears.
It's a hit just outside the circle. Let's see what they do.
In the middle.
Oh,
Who has it?
and it's
We're still pushing around. Whistle finally
we have
blown.
a timeout, and I'm not sure if she's calling a stroke or a corner. She's calling a stroke. That means that the Chiefs prevented a short goal.
So this is more or less a penalty shot.
This is a penalty shot.
What's the frequency of accuracy? You know, the percentage of time. Is this a
It depends on the goalkeeper. It actually depends on the goalkeeper. This goalkeeper is very good at strokes, at saving strokes. And she saved that one.
Terrific. Terrific save. And that was an excellent shot as well. That was headed for the left corner.
That was.
So, goaltender guessed right.
And actually in the Olympics, just this past Olympics, the Dutch beat the South Koreans. The Dutch men beat the South Koreans on strokes, 5-4.
Okay. Now, why would a stroke have been called in that situation? It was like a scrum right in front of the net.
Yeah, and there, could be any number of reasons. One of the reasons could have been that a short goal was prevented by going off the body, or one of the defenders did something illegal, or the goalkeeper covered it.
Okay.
But there was a foul that, would have resulted in almost a short goal had it not, occurred.
Okay.
Like I said, this goalkeeper is very good at saving strokes, so for her it's like, don't let the ball go in the cage. You do whatever you can to keep it out. I'll save the stroke.
In the middle. Campana with it.
Now, she did have a player off to the right. She could have passed that too, as opposed to going straight ahead, and Fallon Samuels picked it off. Now we have Monica. That's the ball, I believe. Or is it Mary Simonowitz? Mary Simonowitz.
She's been really hitting the ball a lot. In the middle.
Yeah, she's their midfield, the right midfield. And we have another corner. We do have some Piscataway cheerleaders here.
Oh, yes. I said there's a decent crowd for this game. Coming to the middle here. Shot. Kicked out.
That's a nice lifted ball. Now, if they could just get the ball down the field here, if they take that hit very quickly before Piscataway has a chance to recover.
That was a nice hit.
Which is what they've done.
Chiefs quite willing to play most of their team, if not all their team, up forward, like you mentioned, Mim. And they really have to watch it.
Yeah, well, she has a lot of faith in her goalkeeper and also in her defense.
East Brunswick slowly starting to...
They're chipping away. Again, they're bringing it up the right side, and that's and it's helping them.
Here's possible chance. Still alive.
Oh, she's down. Well, we're going to have a corner here.
Okay.
We have a scoreless first half. There's 10 minutes left, but that's enough.
Absolutely.
And if you notice here, you see East Brunswick keeps 3 players back.
Can't see that on the screen, man, but but that's okay. There's 3 players back.
Well, up on
in case of the defensive.
If you notice, if the viewers notice, there were quite a number of less players up around the circle as to what Piscataway has.
Good hit. Still up for grabs. Piscataway will
And
take
Chiefs
over.
move the ball very well up their right side. As we have the subs coming in, they just hold up a card, a player runs off, and one player runs on.
All right. Well, listen, Fritz tried to make that stop.
That was just a block out. You're not allowed to run picks in this game. It's what I call a gentleman's or gentlewoman's sport. You have to allow your opponent every opportunity to have the ball. You have to present it for play, and then they must get in a position to get the ball from you. So you're not allowed to run picks, and that's what just happened.
Misiak was the one that had that shot, and it went by the cage.
Went out of bounds.
We have 8:40 left to go in the first half. No score here at J. Doyle Field, East Brunswick and Piscataway.
Both teams are fighting very hard.
Which begs the question, will conditioning become a factor as this game moves on?
Conditioning is a big factor. This is a running game. You have to be able to run for 75 minutes because you may have 2 overtime periods. So you really have to be able to run, and not only run, but perform. So you have to be in pretty good shape to play this game, strength-wise and endurance-wise.
A lot of substitutions going on. We haven't really noticed, but now I'm seeing it. Players coming in and out.
Well, we're 23 minutes into the game, so it is a lot of running. This has been a fast game also. This has been a very fast game. So the players are getting tired, and when you get tired, your skills start to break down, and that's when you'll give away the ball or, worse yet, get injured. So the coaches will be substituting to prevent.
Clark with that shot, elevated.
That wasn't intentionally with the ball. She flicked it. So the official called that. You know, ideally, when you steal the ball, you try to give it to someone on your team. Like I said, I know that East Brunswick is playing with a player up, with Janine McMillan up.
This is, I believe, number 5 for the Bears. That was Ballant. In the front, in front. Kicked out.
That's a beautiful shot. And we have a corner. That was an obstruction. The defensive team always has to have 6 players at the 50, and the other 5 are down behind the end line.
Okay.
And East Brunswick plays with 6 players up around the circle, and they have the other 4, not counting the goalkeeper.
Here's a chance.
Down.
Here's a
and
chance.
Here's a shot. This would be a little harder than that to get by this goalkeeper.
Oh, opportunity in the middle missed.
Yeah.
Ballant had a shot.
And here comes Carly Campana with the ball. A little far off her stick, so it gets taken away.
Very nice defensive play by number 22, Charlene Jen. Back and forth we go. 5:36 to go in the first half. Again, no score.
Say the last 5 minutes, East Brunswick has had this ball over the 50. They're playing much better.
Nice interception. Almost controlled.
Out of bounds. That's Janine McMillan.
Right. She's a junior.
Yes.
Gets through.
She also plays on a team outside of school. She plays on the Spirit Eagles club. With a couple of the other Chiefs who also play on that club, so they know each other.
Simanowicz with a shot, a bouncing shot, and looks like it bounded through.
The grass is a bit long. It's a bit longer than field hockey players like to have it, but that's the nature of high school field hockey, I guess.
Elevated. So the Chiefs will have a relatively close-in shot here. Can they score on a direct shot right at this point?
No, an attack player must touch it in the circle.
Just as well to whack it, though, because it's going to hit somebody.
That's what you
in
hope.
the middle.
That's what you hope.
Okay.
And it did hit a foot. If you can hit it hard enough when you're that close to the circle, hopefully it bounces off a defender's stick or it hits someone's foot and you get a corner, which is, you know, what the Chiefs have now. They're playing they're playing their sweeper back a little further now. Guess after that last, and there's a shot. Oops, out of bounds.
Campana let go with one, but went a little astray, and they were looking for a rebound. And that one ended up on the other side of Middlesex County.
I think so.
Taking a little while.
It would be nice if they had ball people down there.
Yes.
I know as a player, I love to have ball people. I don't like to go chasing balls.
Again, we have a moving clock here. To Marza. Little high. And Chiefs actually will get a good opportunity here.
This is good. Mary Simonowitz has the ball, and she has a very nice hard hit.
Actually, she's going to yield.
Yeah. She's going to cut. And another high ball. They're getting tired now, and so we'll see a lot more lofted balls. As you get tired, your skills break down. And that was a mental error.
And shot from that point. Okay, again. Looks like, is that Becky Joseph?
That's what I thought. That was a
Yeah,
play. That
Joseph. Shot in the middle.
And
And gets by.
You notice how Piscataway just lined up there in front of 5 yards from the hit, and then when the one player cut off and the other player came up, they all split and tried to make a path into the goal.
There's no such thing as offside?
Not
field
anymore.
Hockey? Okay.
Not anymore. It's actually very much like soccer, with the exception now we don't have offsides anymore.
That's an interesting shot. That got
and
through.
That's a goal.
I believe
Fallon
it was Joseph.
Samuels hit that ball in, and I'm not sure who it deflected off, but
it was interesting is that she sort of gave herself a little bit of time and wound up, and East Brunswick did not go after it.
Yeah. Well, it was a free hit.
Oh, it was a free hit.
It was a free hit.
Oh, okay.
That she had.
So it had to hit somebody. So it is a 1-0 score. That coming at the 2-minute mark, 18-minute mark. Excuse me, 28-minute mark. And Piscataway finally breaks through legitimately. They did score early in the contest, but that goal was taken away on a call we're not quite sure about. But this gives the Chiefs a 1-0 score.
We still don't know who scored that, do we?
The person that it last touched gets credit for the goal?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we'll find that out at halftime.
Thought it may have been Jackie Adam, but I'm not sure. It's hard to see the numbers from up here.
Mim, if you will, talk about the quality of field hockey here in Middlesex County and how it compares to, say, some of the South Jersey teams, Mercer County and North Jersey. My sense is that, from what I see in reading the clippings and the scores when the teams play, is that some of these South Jersey teams are really, really, really excellent teams.
South Jersey hockey is very big in South Jersey. I originally grew up in Cumberland County, and you know, an everyday game, it would be, I guess, like football games up here in North Jersey, because we would have 50 to 100 spectators just come out and watch a hockey game at 3:30 in the afternoon. So it's a very big sport. It's serious. We start at 12 years old, whereas up here, you know, a lot of times they don't start till their freshman year. I mean, I have heard that the Middlesex, the GMC, is not as competitive as the other divisions, but this game it's a very good game.
Okay.
The skill level is very good.
And you have arguably two of the better teams, or best teams perhaps, in the Middlesex County.
And they look like they could compete with any of the other teams in the state.
Campana puts it up front, and East Brunswick turns it away. That was a good outlet pass. Bears will continue.
And a 1-0 game is basically a 0-0 game. I mean, this game could go either way. We've seen it.
Right. East Brunswick again with the advantage.
East Brunswick is probably looking to get a corner before the time expires. The timer is on the field. And that's the half.
Okay. So at halftime, Piscataway with a 1-0 lead. The goal coming on the player we don't know. But Mim, your sense of how the game has gone thus far?
This is a good game. It's nice. It's an open game. It's back and forth. Both teams are well skilled. It can be anybody's game. It can go either way. Like I said, a 1-0 game is not a big lead.
Absolutely, and East Brunswick hoping to capitalize on what it did in terms of making a turnaround transition and moving the ball up towards it, and they will switch places for the second half. Right now, we're going to take a little bit of a break, and we'll be back right after this.
Wait a minute.
All right, we are back at J. Doyle Field at East Brunswick High School, where we're about to begin the second half of play. You see the players on the field. Score is Piscataway 1 and East Brunswick nothing. And Mim, I understand you have some information on the disallowed goal.
The goal was disallowed. In high school, you're not allowed to play the ball on the ground. And apparently the player shot from her knees, so that's why the goal was disallowed.
And who did score the first goal for Piscataway? Did we ever get that?
Yes, Lauren Guarneri scored that.
Okay,
I believe
freshman.
she's number 7.
Freshman Lauren Guarneri.
Yes. The program lists her as number 21, but I believe she is number 7 out there.
Right. She does look like a Guarneri. There's a bunch of them.
How many?
Oh, Lisa, Jessica. I'm forgetting one. They come at you in waves.
She's a big girl.
Yes, she is. For a freshman, she is.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that ball is apparently still alive.
No, it wasn't. She did call it. You don't have a
Okay.
whistle if it goes out of the sideline.
Okay.
The official just points. They're actually trying to get rid of the number of whistles in field hockey now. At one time,
Thankfully.
yes, at one time the average number in a high school game was about 140 whistles in 60 minutes, which, is a lot of whistles. So, you will notice the official pointing a lot, which is called holding. They hold to see who gets the advantage. We're trying to get rid of
Okay.
the whistles to allow them to play.
I can't tell you how much I like that concept. I really do.
As a player, I love it. If I foul, I back off. I don't want the whistle to blow.
All right, here comes the Chiefs. Nice hit by Campana. And moving the ball, that's Semenowitz.
East Brunswick is just missing their tackles. If they clean up that, they'll be all over the Chiefs again. Now that she's dribbling up, she really doesn't have any support. These Brunswick players are kind of lagging back, and you really need that support.
That was Lauren Clark with the ball. And ball at midfield.
If you can look at the field, if you notice the Piscataway players are in a nice group, you'll be able to make diamonds and triangles all over the field, whereas East Brunswick players tend to be spread out a little more. When you're spread out, it makes it very difficult to support. You have a lot of open space players to hit the ball to, but with the Piscataway team being so close, it's tough to get it through them.
Piscataway will hit. Good low shot.
And again, they're on the left side of the field, so they struggle to get the ball up that side of the field.
Piscataway will hit. Excuse me, East Brunswick. Ball in the corner.
They're moving it better. Now they're supporting a little better. They're a lot closer together, so they're able to support.
There's a hit. Ball through. Campana.
Campana moves the ball very well. She has excellent stick work. She keeps the ball on her stick, and she's able to move it in and through a crowd.
That hit by number 15 for Piscataway. That's Fritz.
Melissa Fritz is also a futures player. It's a nice poke away.
25 minutes and 45 seconds left to go in the second half. Piscataway with a 1-0 lead. And as Mim had mentioned, that's a tenuous lead because you can score very quickly, and 1 goal is all East Brunswick needs to knot the game.
Yeah, and when your goalkeeper is not playing a lot,
They got away with a hit there.
when your goalkeeper is not playing a lot because she's not getting a lot of shots, it becomes very dangerous. That's when you you can score. So East Brunswick does have a chance to score here.
And this game is taking on a little character of being rough.
It's
little contact.
It's getting a bit rougher. They're pushing a bit more. But I know both of these officials, so they will cut down on that very quickly. Both of these officials are players also, so they know the game very well.
Misiak will hit. It's a whack stopped by East Brunswick. However, Campana comes up with it in the middle, taken away. I think that's Pennick, Lauren Pennick, sophomore.
No, that was beautiful the way she came up and just supported her player who was down.
Right, I'm wrong on that. That was not Lauren Pennick.
You know, as I said before, you're not allowed to play the ball on the ground in high school hockey. That's why that goal was disallowed in the first half. Otherwise, this would be a 2-0 game. You know, you're allowed to do these reverse spins and moves now. When I was playing, you weren't allowed to do that. It was always obstruction. So it's a much more open game. And that's, again, they're trying to get rid of the whistles and reward skill, and it is a very skillful move. So that's one of the ways they're trying to get rid of all these whistles to make it more fan-friendly.
Chiefs try to advance the ball.
Right now, this game appears to be played between the 40-yard line.
I was going to mention that.
It's what we call a midfield game.
Neither team really with an excellent chance in this second half of play with 22:50 left to go in the game.
You know, both goalkeepers are just pretty much standing there. We're not.
They're advancing the ball now.
It's Campana. And she lost it in the grass.
In the middle, bounds up. Here's a chance now for Piscataway.
Went off someone's foot, so we have a corner. And again, Piscataway's back to having their 10 players all the way up.
Well, obviously 1 goal is not enough.
No. I know she does play, the Chiefs do play their players up. They have some very fast players. Melissa Fritz and Fallon Samuels are incredibly fast, so they could get back very quickly.
In the middle, Campana turns around. Excuse me, was that
was Campana.
Yeah, okay.
Well, that's the right idea to hit the ball out there, but you should have hit it a bit more square as opposed to at that diagonal.
Field getting a little slick here because of the evening dew.
Yeah, you can see it coming in.
Misiak will hit it right from there.
It's down below the 25-yard line, so both teams must be 5 yards away.
Here's a clear shot. In front. Covered up nicely, however. Bounds away.
Kelly Moore is the goalkeeper for
East Brunswick, she's a senior, and she's playing very well tonight. She's moving well, covering the angles.
In the middle. Oh, a pass. Nice pass. However, East Brunswick takes it away. Still alive. I guess the objective is just to keep it alive up front, and then hopefully somebody's going to get a stick on it.
Somebody will get a stick on it, or you'll get a corner, but just keep it in the circle. Don't let it come out.
Shot to the middle.
And of course, we saw for, well, I guess about 5 or 6 minutes, it was only between the two 40-yard lines. So now we are down in the circle.
We are under 20 minutes to go in this match between East Brunswick and Piscataway. Very important match in that winner will take the upper hand on the GMC lead, I believe.
I believe they're both tied in their conference. And as we said before the game, Piscataway's record is 6-1.
Right. East Brunswick
is 7-2.
7-2, right. In the middle, got behind.
Beautiful save.
Yeah. Initially, it was saved, and that was all that counted because East Brunswick's defense moved in and took care of the rest.
I believe that was Charlene Chen that saved that. Yes, it was, number 22. It was a beautiful goal line save. You don't read about those in the paper much. You always read about the players that score, but you don't read about those goal line saves that these defenders do.
Up front. And looks like a corner will be awarded.
Another corner.
You know, we can't forget that save that the Piscataway goaltender, Gagliardi, made in the initial minutes of the game off that
penalty stroke.
Yeah.
That ball was going in the cage. Like I said, she's good at them.
Here comes the corner. Campana winds up. Bounds up in front. And Semanowitz had an opportunity but couldn't put it through.
And Aaron, the defender, was all over them.
We have a timeout on the field of play now.
East Brunswick timeout.
Okay. How many timeouts are awarded each team?
You're allowed 2.
Okay.
You're allowed 2 one-minute timeouts.
And time left, 7:57. That is the unofficial clock.
Cindy's probably rallying her team together. That's the East Brunswick coach telling them they have to buckle down and get back to playing their game.
And Cindy Todorov, I've known her for a number of years, and I have to tell you, there is not a stronger advocate of field hockey in this immediate area. I know for years she coordinated summer leagues, really just devoted so much time, and she really deserves a lot of credit for what she has brought to Middlesex County hockey. Would you agree?
Absolutely. I've known Cindy for about 20 years, and I used to play with her. You know, and she's definitely into this sport, into promoting this sport and teaching this sport. Last year, she was the freshman coach. She was a big advocate in getting that freshman program started. So she's very devoted.
And there you see her. No doubt providing a good teaching foundation for this team. I think it's apparent that the athletes in this game are on the Piscataway side. They really do have the edge in speed, but East Brunswick really making a nice account of itself by positioning their play, doing what's necessary, and hopefully they can take advantage of an opportunity if they can get one.
Yeah, well, the East Brunswick team is sticking to their game plan of trying to double team the Piscataway players, and they're doing that very well. They're basically, what I say, is being all over the other team. They're not letting them move the ball the way that they're able to move the ball. And again, that ball probably should have come a bit more square out, flatter, not at such an angle.
Campana with a stick, wrong side, looks like.
She probably pushed her on the back to get that ball away.
All right, East Brunswick, if they can push it through here, would have some numbers.
East Brunswick, it looks like if they could just keep the ball closer to their sticks, they're not going to allow the Piscataway team to get it. That's basically how they're losing these balls right now, is they're coming off their stick a little too much, and the other team is just capitalizing on that.
Campana outlets it. Nope.
And that was a stick interference. She hit her stick. You know, the grass makes it pretty difficult to tackle because it is so uncertain. It's a little bit long and it's lumpy.
Which causes all types of bounces.
Yeah, so, you know, you go for the ball and you'll hit the stick. That was a nice stop.
Somebody goes down. One thing I noticed in the Olympics was that the games were played on artificial surface, which means no bounces, really, when you think about it.
No, they're
Perfect
not.
surface. And maybe it's not a coincidence that one of the premier programs in the state of New Jersey, the College of New Jersey, plays on an artificial surface.
Most colleges now do play on artificial surface. Kane University, Montclair State, and the College of New Jersey and Princeton University all play on artificial surfaces.
In the middle, nice
and
save.
That's a nice spin.
And they get it through. Goaltender was about maybe 10 feet out of the goal, and after the initial save, it was poked behind her, and after that, Piscataway rammed it home.
It was a beautiful spin that she did to get it back in there once she got that rebound.
Was that Guarneri that scored that goal? Don't know who was credited with that, but nonetheless, Piscataway now with a 2-0 lead. And I believe we have another timeout on the field.
I'm not sure who called that timeout. Maybe East Brunswick called it again. That would be their second timeout.
Right, and that was a very important goal.
But 2 goals, you're still not down. I mean, look at the Koreans and the Dutch. You know, the Dutch were ahead 3-1 with 62 minutes with 7 minutes left in the game, and the Koreans came back to tie it up. So it can be done. We're still waiting to find out who scored.
.44 left to go in the contest.
Timeouts are generally 1 minute.
Okay. And we're about ready to resume action here at J. Doyle Field. And here comes East Brunswick. That was a good pass.
As I said before, you no longer have to pass the ball back, so that was a nice forward pass. And it allows you to get down to the circle and tackle right away, and that came off a leg.
East Brunswick really hasn't had other than the penalty shot, really hasn't had a good scoring opportunity.
No, they've been in the circle a few times, but they haven't really had a chance to do a lot of shots. I'm sure if we take a look at the stats this evening, there aren't going to be a lot of shots for East Brunswick. Piscataway, on the other hand, has had a lot of shots.
And credit that to that defensive circle that Piscataway puts up. They know what they're doing out here. In the middle, East Brunswick trying to get a shot off. There's a whistle. And here come the Chiefs.
So we know the goal was scored by number 12, Kristen Meza.
Okay. I think the goal was scored at 14:55, if I'm not mistaken.
That would be the 46th minute of play.
ball to East Brunswick. And the Bears really need to get something going here. Again, Piscataway has really prided itself on sterling defensive play this season. And no doubt, or rather, they're doing this now.
And there was that double teaming again. And they're not giving up. Some teams would give up with a 2-0 deficit, but not this team. "13 minutes left. That's enough to score 2 goals.
Simonowitz with a hard shot. However, East Brunswick retains possession, gets it to the middle of the field. And this is number 5, Ballant. A whistle there, now they play on. Too high.
They need to keep that ball closer to their stick if they want to get by these Chiefs. And that was a nice move, and that's what I'm talking about, Janine McMillan being up for them to pass the ball to.
Okay.
She dodges, and she comes in, and she dodges, and if she can get there, she just...
That was a nice play by number 10.
That was a nice play. That's a long hit we have.
Alexandra Schmidt was the one that knocked that away.
Oops, a little high.
And Misiak will take the shot.
And if you notice, she brought that ball up. If you have a foul on the side in, if you raise the ball and it's a foul, it now becomes a free hit. And a free hit for defense is taken at the 16-yard line. Whereas that side in was taken at the 5-yard line. So, you know, they gained 11 yards on that.
Ball was out of bounds.
It's Karen Panoranda who took that last free hit. This is Monica Misiak. She's got a nice hard hit.
Oh, yeah. Tavarza tries to stop
a
it.
little far off her stick.
And here comes that relentless charge by Piscataway, but turned away nicely. Back and forth we go.
And here we are, back between the 40s again. The Bears haven't given up at all. They're really fighting. They know they can come back and get 2 goals very quickly. And see if we have a breakaway again.
To the middle. Knocked away, however.
I think if she'd have looked up before she hit that, she would have seen that she had a pass back as opposed to trying to hit the ball forward.
Goaltender whacks it.
And comes out.
Still in
nice
play.
Clear.
Real nice play there by number 6 for the Chiefs. It was Karen Panoranda, a sophomore.
And there's Janine again, bringing it up. There was no advantage gained by that lofted ball, and that's why the
Okay.
whistle was blown.
It's a nice pass. Taken away smartly.
And now if she could just get it off before. Again, we notice this East Brunswick team is playing the ball on the left, and they have a very difficult time getting it past the Chiefs' right side players.
Right. So what, in a situation like that, you just try to change directions, or?
You try to change directions. Ideally, you'd like to play 30% on the right, 30% on the left, 30% in the center, and that way, you know, the team doesn't know where the other team doesn't know where your strengths are. It's easy to pass the ball to the left, but it's easy for the other team to defend that side. So if the Bears would just have the passes going right, left, you know, in and out, I think they'd get by this Piscataway team a lot better.
This is a corner.
And more flat passes as opposed to their diagonal passes, more square passes, straight across or straight ahead.
Is it possible that Piscataway may have been caught this time? Nope. See, now they come back.
Again, that ball was off her stick a little far. Their stick work is killing them, not keeping the ball right on their stick or having it come a little far off their stick or just hitting it like that without regard to where their players are.
In the middle.
Janine moves the ball very well, and we just might, and there's a goal.
All right.
That was beautiful.
And that was scored by DeMarsa, perhaps?
Janine had the assist, and
I've got my eyes on her. And
in the 53rd minute play.
Whoever it is on the far left.
Yeah, the wing out there.
Uh-huh. And you're right. It's 2-1, and we have some time left. 6:55 left to go in this match.
I said this game is by far not over. As I said, the East Brunswick just keeps the ball on their stick. They're going to tie this game.
Mim, that scoring opportunity came off a corner for Piscataway, and as you had said that maybe they're, you know, playing a little precarious by keeping everybody up, and that time it came back to burn Piscataway.
Yeah, and Piscataway did get back fast enough, but you know, they gave the ball to a good player that could move the ball very well and keeps the ball on her stick and has excellent stick work, and they weren't able to get the ball away from her.
So these
And
last
she just shot. She pulled the goalkeeper out, and we still haven't found out who it was, but put
so
the
these
ball
last
in.
6 minutes are going to be pretty interesting.
Yes, they are.
Okay. Now, obviously, the clock is going to be a factor.
Definitely. And if they can, you know, look to pass, to do stick-to-stick passing, what I call, we could have a tie game, maybe see some overtime. If they do go into overtime, it'll be what's called 7-on-7. Each team will have 7 players.
Which obviously creates more territory and more scoring
Yes.
opportunities.
And again, you know, we talked about having to be in shape and great endurance, and after playing 60 minutes, having to go play another 15 minutes with only 7 players on this field. Misiak hits a hard ball.
East Brunswick playing with much more spirit. In the middle, Campana.
And here comes the ball out. This is
An outlet pass, nobody there.
no one there. But Janine is coming over. McMillan's coming over, and that's a nice dodge, and it's an obstruction.
Sent forward.
And here we go.
Stopped. But East Brunswick does have numbers if they want.
Again, the balls are coming a little far off their stick, and so
They award it to East Brunswick.
Well, she hit the ball right into Campana's stick, and it went off Campana's stick.
Okay.
Oh, the
too high.
lofted balls are killing them right now. We have about 4 minutes left. And here we come again. That's a nice back pass, and they're going to
Nice
try to go
pressure.
around. And oh yes, here we come again. Oh.
Awarded to East Brunswick.
We have about 3:30 left in the game, so there is enough time. We just heard that Janine McMillan did score that goal and was assisted by Aaron Balent.
Okay. Last couple minutes here, East Brunswick definitely has had the decided edge.
And
Oh,
the slip. It could come back to haunt her.
let's see. East
Giving
Brunswick still
to
driving.
Janine. And, oh, there was a whistle blown. So we're coming down up on the 2-minute mark. There's 2 minutes left in this game.
Okay, the final 2 minutes is being kept on the field. Campana with a good whack.
And this grass is just tough. You're not allowed to play the ball on the ground. I don't understand why they just allowed that.
Turned up.
And that's into space.
Speed is a factor here. And
There was a push.
right. Got to come fast. Piscataway ball. Must be about a minute left in the game.
They're going to try to burn the clock now. Now we have an advancing the ball off. Oh, they're slipping all over the place now. This field is really dewy.
Mim, I've noticed that Simanowicz is playing in a defensive mode now. She's way back.
She's playing a midfield position. She's playing their right midfield.
Oh, okay.
So it is half offense, half defense. The first half, I think she was playing more offensive-minded. When the ball is on the left side of the field, the right side plays back a bit more and a diagonal in case, to stop a long ball coming through. It makes it easier for that player to cut diagonally across the field to get a loose ball.
Can't be a lot of time left.
The timer's up, so there's under a minute, probably under 30 seconds.
And the field ball is, oh, shot. Nice save.
I mean, East Brunswick really needs to get the ball to the other end of the field and get a corner right now. Because the game cannot end on a corner. They would be able to play that corner out and hopefully score. and that's the game.
Right. And Piscataway comes away with a well-earned 2-1 victory over East Brunswick. Game was very well played. I think East Brunswick needs to be very proud with the way they never gave up, like you said, and came back and really made a nice game of this.
They really do. They stayed in that game the whole time, even when they were down 2-0. They still gave it 100% and came back and scored, and they were a big threat to the Chiefs.
Okay, Mim, do you have the scoring very quickly? Can we go over that?
Yes. In the 28th minute of play, number 7, Lauren Guarneri scored for Piscataway. In the 46th minute, Piscataway scored again. Number 12, Kristen Meza. And in the 53rd minute, East Brunswick, Janine McMillan scored to make the score 2-1 for Piscataway.
All right, so that's the scoring for this evening's match. As we mentioned, a very, very well-played, spirited game on both parts. Anytime East Brunswick and Piscataway gets together, you always have a great match, no matter what the sport. Mim, before we wrap it up, just your overall comments on the way the game went. And
It was a very good game. Like I said, I did speak with the East Brunswick coach, Cindy Todoroff, before the game, and she said they were going to try to balance their attack, which is what they did. They were balancing their attack, and they were trying to tackle in pairs with their defensive, and that's exactly what she did. When Piscataway got the ball, they always had at least 2 players around the ball, and it made it very difficult. The game was played a lot between the 40-yard lines, so it was a good game.
okay, well, I want to thank you very, very much, Mim, for joining us this evening. You really provided a nice touch of expertise that we wouldn't normally have for a potentially complex game to understand, but once you do understand it, field hockey is a great sport. So that's going to do it this evening. The final score, Piscataway 2, East Brunswick 1 in field hockey. For Mim Chappell-Eber, this is Jimmy Allinder saying thanks for being with us.